Hey there guys, how are you? So welcome to Q&A number 17, and tons of great questions to answer. And by the way, if you guys are looking around right now, a lot of Batman shit is setting here. That's because I just got done doing my other video for my Flickpick channel, basically talking about some Batman bonus features on The Dark Knight Rises. We talk about what Bane could have looked like. Anyway, after this video, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put links down below. So anyway, let's jump into your questions. By the way, this laptop's loud. Can you hear it? Okay. Anyway, it sounds like it's like a little girl screaming in a well. That's what it sounds like. Have you seen the 1959 film, Like It Hot? And with that, what would you do if you were a chick for a day? I want a creative answer. If I were a woman for a day, I would basically sit inside all day. I would probably utilize a lot of kitchen utensils, and I'd sit inside all day with the curtains closed, just exploring myself. Yeah, okay. What is your opinion on Jurassic Park 2 and 3? And will you see Jurassic Park 3D when it is re-released next year? Most likely not. I own the Blu-ray. I'm content with that. But Jurassic Park 2, I like. I never thought, 1 is just by far the best, but 2 had some good stuff in it. It kind of had an interesting concept. Jeff Goldblum was the star of it. I'm Jeff Goldblum. Grass is green. Grass starts with a G. G. What else starts with a G? God. Everyone believes in God. God is the answer. I'm sorry. That was not a very good Jeff Goldblum impression. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 was okay. 3 I thought was awful. What is your favorite food when you have the munchies? Favorite food when I have the munchies? I like these buffalo pretzel things. They're like pretzels, but they taste like buffalo wings. Those really give me what I need. Have you ever made love to your girlfriend while wearing your Batman mask? Sounds like fun. Indeed, it is fun. No, I haven't. I've tried. I've offered the concept to her, but she didn't want the Dark Knight to rise. Put it that way. What is the meaning to life? The meaning of life is basically we are just genetic mutations of bacteria that grew on a rock a few billion years ago. We evolved into what we are today, and basically that's it. But I'll give you so there was no, in my opinion, there was no plan. Yeah, do whatever you want in life, as long as it makes you happy and you don't hurt anybody. And by the way, what just happened? I love how things just freeze. Come on. It's clicking. I'm clicking. It won't do anything. Come on, you piece of shit. Let's go. Okay, after my Internet Explorer just froze up for 5 minutes, let's go here. Have you ever made a sex tape? Technically, yes. Have you ever smoked marijuana? Yeah, but only in high school and a few times, because I'm not a fan of smoke going into my lungs. Like, it just doesn't feel natural to me. I don't like it. Hash browns or home fries? Let's go with home fries. What is most surprising about you? I don't know. I'm kind of an anal retentive germaphobe. Like, I'm very germophobic. I don't know. When I get food, I always look at it for a few seconds, and like if there was a hair anywhere near my food, I can't eat it. I don't trust it. Are you a fan of Paul Thomas Anderson movies? Do you like Boogie Nights? Boogie Nights is probably my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Just the whole story, like when you have John C. Reilly and you have Mark Wahlberg, and they're doing like that spoof 1970s detective thing, and they're running and rolling and flipping on the rooftops. That's amazing to me. I look up there and I see my name in the lights. What is the best time of your life so far? Kindergarten, high school, or college? College kind of just went by real quick. I didn't really take pride in it. Probably, I'm going to have to say high school. That's where all the pretty cool stuff happened in my life. And after that, it just went, I'm dead. Somebody asked me about my video game channel. By the way, I did technically start my new video game channel. It's called Flick Video Games. Link down below. Anyway, I am working on it. I actually have the Wii right here. I actually have my brother's Wii right here. I just stole from him. And what I did with that is I had a friend kind of mod it so I can play some classic games on it. So I'm going to probably start out with that. Am I a fan of 2.5 Men? No. Laugh out loud. Are you talking about Bang Bus? I laugh so hard. You rock, man. Yeah, Bang Bus, man. I mean, something's got to get you through high school. What is your favorite scene in The Dark Knight Rises? My favorite scene in The Dark Knight Rises is probably the fight scene between Bane and Batman. I don't know why. There's not any music. It just feels very brutal. I really like that scene. It's just, especially when Bane turns around and punches Batman right in the damn head. What is your favorite Chris Nolan movie besides the Batman series? Probably The Prestige. And it's kind of one of his underrated movies in my opinion, but The Prestige is probably my favorite non-Batman movie by Nolan. 4 questions. What was your first Blu-ray purchase? Avatar. What is your favorite Blu-ray with your Sony soundbar? My favorite is Terminator 2. With the soundbar, I would say, I remember The Dark Knight sounding really good with it. Are you getting Expendables 2 on Blu-ray? I'm not buying that movie ever. Was not a huge fan of it. You know what? I'd buy the Blu-ray for like $2. What is your favorite childhood film growing up? I always used to watch Dumbo. I always used to lay on my living room floor, and I had a dog named Boomer. Huge dog. And by the way, he lived to be like 21 years old. And that's not in dog years, that's human years. So I don't know, that makes him old as hell. But I used to lay on his stomach and watch Dumbo. What is the best place to buy Blu-rays besides Walmart and Amazon? Go to pawn shops. Go to pawn shops, they're very cheap. Check that out. Few questions. Have you seen Godzilla movies? And if you did, what are some of your favorites? I've seen some of the old classic ones, and I remember the Matthew Broderick 1998 Godzilla movie. I actually seen that in theaters, but I can't recall any particular things about them. Hey John, give me a shout out. My channel is RapperFan22. And would you react if Tiny Todd died? Tiny Todd did die, and I actually did do a reaction to it. See? Right there. Will you get a PS4 that plays 3D Blu-rays? I'm not against PS4s. I'm probably not going to buy one when it first comes out because I'm more of a 360 guy. Do you watch Arrow? No, I don't watch Arrow. Those made for TV shows with superheroes in them, they're not up to where I need them to be. They're a little bit junk ass. Hey John, big fan from Brazil here. What are your favorite horror films? I've answered this 100 times. I'd probably say some of my favorites are Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. Yo John, can I get a shout out? My name is Stu Passato. Padasso? We'll go with Padasso. Who are your favorite James Bond villains? I always like Jaws. I do like Javier Bardem's very weird, menacing, blonde-haired villain in the new movie Skyfall. Odd Job was always not technically, well, yeah, we'll go with Odd Job for a few seconds there. Technically not, what was I was trying to think of the one. I was trying to think, there was one from the 70s movies, I can't recall. Maybe it'll come to me. I gave up looking after a week. I never did recheck the traps though. Okay. Oh, that was my comment to somebody. Yo, G, Jennifer Aniston, would you hit it? My God, yes. Not only would I hit it, I'd pay. I'd give my entire house away for that. Tiny Todd looks huge anymore. Is he the same one? No, that's a new Tiny Todd. I said he was resurrected into a new form, and he grew. By the way, just between me and you, Tiny Todd's been on the juice. Okay. Have you seen Slumdog Millionaire? If so, what did you think? I really liked that movie. It took me a year or so to really sit down and watch it because I didn't know what to expect and I wasn't looking forward to it. But once I did watch it, I was like, that was pretty damn good. I've only seen it once though. Do you like DBZ? If Dragon Ball Z, if so, which part is your favorite? It was never big into Dragon Ball Z. Yo, Johnny, my man, ignore that. What do you think of the raid? Personally, I love it. I liked it a lot. I've seen it one time. Not one of my favorite movies, but I thought it was really cool. Hey Johnny, how do you remove those damn price tag stickers off the covers of Blu-rays? You just sit there and scratch them. Give them a little scratch. Don't be scared of a little water. Put a little dab of water on them. Don't be scared. Watching your 47-minute big Blu-ray collection video, why do you toss your movies when putting them aside? Well, you see, Blu-rays are just plastic cases. They're not made out of glass or crystal. They're not going to shatter when you drop them 2 inches onto the carpet. So to kind of toss a Blu-ray onto your carpeted, padded floor, it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. Plus, Blu-rays are like, they're so devalued. I remember a couple years ago, a Blu-ray cost $25. Then a year ago, it cost $10. And now you can find Blu-rays for $4. So pretty soon, Blu-rays are going to be $2. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Please give me a shout out. Nick Darden. Do you plan on getting the Dark Knight Trilogy box set? No, I already own all the movies. Plus, I don't... technically, the box set... we don't even know when the box set's coming out. So probably not going to get that. I'm just going to buy the standalone edition. But I do like the one with the broken cow. I want that. I would like to get that. What are your top 5 favorite TV shows of all time? Right now I'm going to say Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, trying to think of some older shows I used to watch. I used to watch The Wire. I used to watch... What the fuck was that? I have 8 minutes left? It just said 5 minutes. Laptops are liars. Don't trust your laptop. Is this going to reach? And you're not going to reach. Come here. I'm going to plug you in, damn it. Why is it every time I'm making a video, something always, the battery has to die on this damn piece of shit? Okay. What was the funniest thing that ever happened to you when you smoked pot? My nose itches. I remember one time I was with a friend and we were driving, and my friend was like a paranoid schizophrenic, and I was in the back seat, other friend up in the front seat, he was driving. And all of a sudden, this cop car gets behind us, and we're like, okay, dude, just keep driving. It's okay. It's not a big deal. And so all of a sudden, he swerves in the other lane. The cop car pulls him over. He puts his hands out the window like he was in some kind of mafia movie, like we had dead bodies in the trunk. And then it wasn't funny at the time, but looking back on it, a little bit comedic. Here, have you ever watched WWE? Every once in a while I flip it on, but that whole program has become so watered down and so forgettable. There's never those moments in wrestling anymore that just... You remember when Stone Cold used to drive out with the beer truck and spray everybody in the ring? They don't do anything like that anymore. Now everything's just so forgettable. What kind of Blu-ray player do you have? I have a Sony something. It's a Sony Blu-ray player. John, are you one of those assholes that blocks people when they say shit about you in the comments, or don't you just care? I've only blocked a few people, and it's only because they spam comment. They just keep putting the same thing to everybody, and it's like, what? Why even waste the space? No, I'm not. I don't care. Say what you want. I'm gonna respond back, but. If people kind of troll, I don't have time for that bullshit. I don't put up with it. In real life, I would like to get physically violent, but it's the internet. What can you do? Who gives a shit? Have you ever seen the movie Breaking Away? By the way, that movie was made in Indiana, down in Bloomington, Indiana. Long story short. My mom's cousin was actually in that movie. When you're at the parade scene and you see the prom queen or whatever, she's waving, that's my mom's cousin. Hello, Johnny boy. Where's Steven Spielberg in your list of favorite directors? Probably in my top 5. Hey, Johnny, have you ever... Why is everyone calling me Johnny? Hey, Johnny, have you ever TP'd a house? I have one time through toilet paper on someone's house. I don't remember who it was, but... I think it was a friend. Yeah, but it's almost too much effort. I did have a friend one time. We were walking home and he pooped on this one kid's car that he didn't like. He pooped on it. Isn't that fucked up? I want Dark Knight Rises, but I never saw it. Did you? And is it good? Is The Dark Knight Rises good? Come on, man. Do you watch my stuff? Come on. Yes, it is good. Go watch my movie review for it. I talk all about it. What do you think of the two? What the hell's okay? What do you think of the two has made dumb acting roles? Malcolm McDowell or Samuel L. Jackson? I love Samuel L. Jackson. He's been in some shitty movies, but I love him. 3 things. John, first, watch Prison Break. Second, why are people complaining about the picture on the Man with No Name collection? It's supposed to look like that. Third, up a haunted house trailer. Tell me when Q&A 18. Okay. Yeah, the PQ and the Man Without a Name trilogy, or the Man with No Name trilogy. Clint Eastwood. Yeah, those movies are supposed to look grainy. Most people nowadays don't understand what Blu-rays are supposed to look like. They think they're supposed to look like these crystal clear, shot on HD films, and they're not. The best Blu-rays are the ones with film grain, because you feel like you're watching a movie. What else was Prison Break? I've never seen it, but I'm not a fan of the 2 main actors of it. So, Hey, what would you want Christopher Nolan's next movie to be? Animated, horror, or comedy? I'm watching you. It's okay. I got the protection of the Dark Knight right here. You can't mess with me. I would like Christopher Nolan just to do something original. And I guess he's only made original movies, so that really doesn't. I would just like to see him just unleash whatever he wants in a script. Christopher Nolan's not going to do a comedy movie. A horror film, I could see that being an aspect of one of his movies, but I don't think he'd do that exact genre. So I don't know. I'd like to see him take over a 007 movie, I'll tell you that. Do you know you look like Biff from Back to the Future? Hey, McFly! Yeah, I see the resemblance. What do you think about Star Wars being bought out by Disney? Star Wars being bought by I'm glad George Lucas won't be in control anymore, because that means you might actually get the Star Wars movie that you want. In my opinion, George Lucas always got a little too much credit for Star Wars. He was the concept creator, but there was a lot of little fingers that went into making it what it was originally in the 1980s and the 1970s. And then when he got complete control, look what you got. You got the Phantom Menace, you got, that's what you got when George Lucas had complete control. So I think that just goes to have proof. Anybody else get creeped out at 12:10? I don't remember what I did there, but it's probably creepy. How and where did you meet your girlfriend? Oh, and are you looking forward to Only God Forgives by Ryan Gosling? The poster looks badass. Yeah, that kickboxing movie. I think that looks pretty badass too. I can't wait. Me and my girlfriend met. She was friends of friends. I remember when we were like 14, I remember running into her. And then a couple years later, she was at a friend's house, and we kind of just started talking. And then a little bit after that, we started dating, and then off and on for years and years. And then, boom, now we have a house together. Flick, what happened to the epic subscribe submarine? Oh my God, you remember my subscribe submarine? Damn, you got a good point there. I should actually use that again. I just might start using that again. I like that submarine. Yeah, anyway, that was my submarine that used to float across the screen and say subscribe. I miss it. Hey, asshole. Hey, asshole. What the fuck did you do to the epic water bottle collection? I threw it away. One more question. What really happened to Tiny Todd? Did you lose him? Yeah, what happened to Tiny Todd's real body? And we'll talk, this is real talk, just between me and you. The original Tiny Todd, if you guys look at my American Psycho parody I did on this channel a few months ago, probably like 2 or 3 months ago, when I went to put Tiny Todd in that medicine cabinet, his neck broke. And I was going to tape it and do all this stuff to it, but I just never bothered. So during the Halloween sale, with all the shit that they get rid of after Halloween, I went ahead and just bought Big Tiny Todd. So, what would you want to direct? Who would I want to direct the next James Bond movie? We'll go with Nolan. What serious non-comedic movies do you laugh at the most? For me, it's either The Room or How to Catch a Yeti. The Room I don't consider a real film, so that disqualifies it from the list. I'm gonna say American Psycho. Like, I know it's a dark comedy, but most people don't understand that it's a dark comedy. And that to me is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. American Psycho is probably my top 5 comedies. That's the true story, and I stand by it. American Psycho. Don't just look at it, watch it. John, do you appreciate the more thoughtful questions on Q&A, or just don't give a fuck? No, I like thoughtful questions. I don't mind getting in-depth with you. If you ask the right question, I'll talk about it all day. Hey, John, Watchmen or The Avengers? The Avengers. I like Watchmen a lot. But The Avengers to me is an easier movie to get through. John, are you satisfied with the amount of subscribers you have on either of your channels? Yeah, I am. Of course, who wouldn't want 100,000 subscribers? But, when you really sit there and think about, on this channel I have 5,000, the other channel I have, 15,000. When you sit there and think about all those people, in one room with you, that's a lot of fucking people, because you got to think about it, like, that's being in front of a stadium of people, and that's kind of a bizarre feeling to know that all those people subscribe to you. It's kind of cool, so I'm satisfied. So I think that my house landed on a pig-like shore. Does that dilly still blow up your ass? Was that some kind of English dry wit? I don't know what that was. I can't wait to watch John play Black Ops 2. I want to see him get mad. Yeah, I have played Black Ops 2, and I get pissed. Something about those games it's went downhill a little bit for me. I don't know. It feels too rigid. It doesn't feel like I can get momentum anymore, but I'm gonna buy. I haven't bought it yet, but I will buy Black Ops 2 to play on my game channel. So, my favorite trauma film, The Toxic Avenger. Hey John, big fan. Are you a fan of Blink 182 or Angels on the Airwaves? I think I have heard Angels on the Airwaves a few times. I can't pinpoint any of their songs. Blink 182, I grew up. That was in their heyday. Was in the early 2000s, late 90s. So yeah, I never hated Blink 182. When I was growing up, I was always a fan of more of like Rammstein and what else was there? Metallica. I always liked classic rock when I was growing up too. So, what is your least favorite kind of music? Least favorite would probably be country music. It just doesn't do anything for me. And my favorite is classic rock music, metal music. John, is Tiny Todd a closet Nazi? I will put it this way: Tiny Todd, back in the '60s, used to live in South America because somebody was after him for some bad things he did in the 1930s and 40s. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I never asked. Did you see Cabin in the Woods? Yeah, I did. I liked it. Have you seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? Yes, I have. I thought it was a witty, smart film by Shane Black. Hey, John, if you jumped into the TV with Stand By Me, would you be breaking up the fight with Vern and Teddy for being called the king of the pussies? Probably not. I would enjoy them to fight it out and brawl. But what I would like is, I would like Teddy to cry on my shoulder about his father being a war hero. What is your favorite idea? Mine is being creative. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'll just assume. Yeah, basically, if it wasn't for YouTube, I would have no true creative outlet. So, I like making YouTube videos because it's fun. That's my creative thing. I like the blue walls. Thank you. I like the color blue too. It seems to fit everything. And it's also kind of like it's sad, but it's happy all at the same time. Can you give me a shout out? My name is Oscar. Hello, Oscar. What is the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you? Probably in high school. In high school I had some acne, and sometimes you get like that little nasty whitehead every once in a while. You guys know what I'm talking about. Especially if you guys are going through puberty right now, but yeah, sometimes you go up to a girl that you really like and you have like a big whitehead on your nose, but it wasn't there that morning, so you assume you're good to go. But then when you talk to her, it's there, but you didn't know it until like you went to the bathroom 10 minutes after that, and you're like, oh, now I don't have a shot in hell. But most embarrassing thing, I really don't know for sure. What was the last book I read? I usually read magazines like Consumer Reports or Reader's Digest, usually only on the toilet. But the last book that I read was, I think it was a book about prison. It was a true story based on prisoners called the Hot House. Yeah, it was about federal prisons. Weird, I know, right? More flick trips. I agree with you. I almost shot one today, but my camera died and I couldn't do it. I must say that the hair lighting in this video is superb. Thank you, sir. That's what it's all about, the hair lighting. You don't really need a green screen. Your room in the background is too awesome. Thank you. So anyway, guys, I think I'll answer a few more questions. How's that? Favorite Tarantino movie, Pulp Fiction. What do you think about the movie Memento? I like it. I don't love it. Hey, John, I want to buy a Blu-ray player, but my parents won't let me. Can you give me a good reason to get it so I can persuade my parents? Tell your parents that if they don't buy you a Blu-ray player, you're gonna run away. You're gonna join an underground sex group in a third world country and sell your body. Maybe they'll buy you one then. Hell, I'd buy my kids one if they told me that. Use Fraps to record screen when playing games. I downloaded something else. Fraps didn't want to work very good with me. Plus, it costs money. When will we see your girlfriend? I don't know. She's always sleeping when I'm making videos. Not gonna lie, I miss your old room. I was really excited to see your new house, but I am attached to your old room. You know, I have way more room in this new room. Plus, I haven't even filmed anything down in my basement yet. Well, I did one video, but I also can do more. So I might do like Blu-ray updates down there eventually. Let's see. Let's go one more question. Were you a bully in high school? No, I never got off on picking on kids smaller than me. You know, not to say I didn't joke around with people, and you know, I was kind of an asshole every once in a while, but I was never like, I never picked on some smaller kid than me. You know, I just always joked around in high school. But yeah, I was not a bully in high school. Well, do I have any more questions? Have I got around to seeing Lincoln yet? Not yet, and from everything I'm gathering, the movie's good, but it's not the Lincoln movie that I want. It seems that Lincoln movie that came out by Spielberg kind of seems like a propaganda piece to me. You know, it's not really exploring his younger years. It's really not about the life of Lincoln. It's about a few months of liberations and, you know, figuring out treaties and bullshit. Plus, I just don't feel like it dives into the complete truth. I know there's a more dark side to Lincoln that we're not getting, so anyway, guys, I think that's going to cover the Q&A for today. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys. Well, you know what? Down below, ask me some more questions. We will answer them next week. And check out my latest video on my other channel, and check out my gaming channel if you get a chance. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.